Welcome to Universal Accounting Center's Building a Successful Accounting Service with your accounting instructor, Alan Bostrom. In Session 6, 10 Tips to Success, Alan wraps up this module with a recap of the 10 most important strategies to success. Now here's Alan.
Just a few things that I want to share with you before we wrap this up. And that, first of all, testimonials are a terrific tool to use. As you develop clients, after you've worked for them for a couple months, go up to them and say, hey, are you happy with my services? Is there anything else that I can do to help you? And if they say that they're happy with your services, let them know that you really value testimonials. Now, they value testimonials from their own business. They know what you're looking for. They know how valuable the testimonials are to them. They would very often be very happy to share with you a testimonial on your service. That testimonial is something you can share with prospective clients and can utilize through this presentation. When you're talking about the benefits, you can say, I've worked with XYZ over here. Here's some of the things that they have to say. And those types of testimonials are going to be very advantageous. Also, whenever you can provide free gifts or services, it's oftentimes very appreciated. Things like, you can buy through these, a lot of different catalog vendors have pens and clocks and pads of paper and things like that with your company's name on it. It's very nice, in addition to a card, to hand something very inexpensive. You're not talking about a huge cost. You can buy pens anywhere from 75 cents up to $5 or more. But you can get some very nice pens for a little over $1 a piece and hand them out, and people appreciate that. People remember those types of things, okay? So free gifts, or sometimes we might give a free service. We might give an hour or 30-minute consultation for free. We might say, we're more than happy to come in and look at your books and give you some ideas in just 30 minutes. Now, people appreciate that. But yet when they see how effective you are about looking at those books, they're going to appreciate having that opportunity every single month. So that free service could very easily move into being a regular contact. So consultation's good. We talked about seeking referrals. You always want to look for opportunities to seek referrals from existing clients. By the way, if someone says, yes, let's get going, that's not a good time to ask for a referral, okay? Because in their mind's eye, you want them to understand that they're the most important person to you right now. So if they say yes, they're ready for your services, wait a month or two before you ask for referrals from them, okay? It's just a good courteous thing to do. Also, want to point out that selling your practice can be very lucrative. You can sell your clients. There are a lot of people that are interested in buying existing clients. And so if some point down the road you build a practice up and then maybe your spouse is transferred, or you just decide that you're going to do something else, or you've got some clients that you would be willing to share with someone else because you've got more than you're ready to handle right now, you can sell that contact to somebody else. So there's ways to do that. People don't realize that, but a lot of accountants, that is their entire retirement, is selling their practice, and they can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process of selling their practice. Okay? And finally, just one other point. Engagement letters are something that are very useful. Engagement letters are simply a letter that's written to the client after you've agreed that you're going to provide the service, and it says something like, it was a pleasure meeting with you the other day. As we discussed, I am going to provide the following services for you each month at this fee. I look forward to working with you in the future. Sincerely, your name. Something very simple like that, very professional on your letterhead, simply documents your agreement as you understand it, and then there's less chance of confusion as to what you're going to provide and how much they're going to pay you later. Okay? So engagement letters are a nice final touch to the process of developing clientele. Okay. Kind of wrapping this up, there are 10 tips that I want to share with you for success in this bookkeeping business. First of all, and I think this is a very critical step, work on your business every week. Now, there's a difference between working on and working in your business. Working in is doing those day-to-day processes that we have to do just to make it through the day, okay? You got to do the accounting, you got to do the data entry. That's all working in the business, providing the accounting service. But once a week, you need to set up some time, and it might only be 30 minutes or 60 minutes, to look at what you've accomplished and where you want to go from here. All too often, we can get so wrapped up in working in our business that we forget that we need to work on our business and do the same thing for our business that we're doing for other businesses in making them stronger, okay? So spend a few minutes every week and even write it in your calendar to work on the business, coming up with more ideas and thoughts and looking back on all these promotional ideas that we've had and see, does one work for you next week? Do you want to spend some time on it during the next 7 days and try to develop your business in that respect? Okay. Secondly is build the business. Even the best accountants lose clients, okay? And so you always want to be in a mode at some level of building your business. Some people want to be very aggressive and build it until they're full-time. In fact, they would like to hire people to do the data entry so that they're spending more time. Those are people that want the wealth that comes from doing this, okay? And if you happen to be that, you're going to need to spend time working on the business, but you're always going to have to be looking for more ways to aggressively go out and market it, okay? If instead you're a person that's looking for 2 or 3 clients, maybe bring in $1,000 a month from accounting clients, and you're happy with that $1,000 a month and you're not going to press it, you still want to be in the mode of doing something each week that will continue to go out and develop clients in the event that you lose a client, so that you've got someone to backfill. Now, if you do enough of that, you'll always have an opportunity, and you can always turn people down, can't you? Okay? Someone calls you up and says, hey, can you do my accounting? You can always say, right now my practice is full. Isn't that a great thing to be able to say? Right now I've got all the clients I need to, but I'll put your name down here, and if I have an opening, I'll give you a call. Okay, and wouldn't it be great if you lose a client to have 10 names on that list that you can go down and they're already sold on your practice and they're anxious for your call? Okay, so always be looking to build your business and make it stronger. Cultivate any professional relationships that you have. You're constantly going to be asked by clients, do you know of an attorney that could work with us? Do you know of a real estate agent? Do you know of insurance, or those types of things that small business owners need? And if you have relationships with these professionals, it helps you in 2 ways. One, it's very professional to be able to hand a client one of their cards and say, yeah, why don't you call this person? This person will do a great job for you. I've worked with them for quite a while. I know them well. Know them personally. I know that they'll do a good job for you. Client appreciates that. Second thing it does is it helps your professional friend, so that in return, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to provide the same type of support to you as the need arises for a bookkeeper or an accountant, okay? So recognize that it comes back to you. So cultivate any of these professional relationships. When we talked about networking, this is a great time to cultivate those professional relationships with others, okay? Also recognize, too, when I'm talking about professional relationships, I'm talking about other accountants, because it is not unusual for accountants to fill up their practice. And then, once they filled up their practice, they're willing to share your card with other prospective clients, and they'll come to you and give you some of their benefit of their increase, okay? So also keep that professional relationship open with other accountants. The next one, number 4, is under-promise and over-deliver. Now, under-promise means we're going to tell them we're going to provide this help and support. but then look for additional ways to make them even happier. I'll give you some examples. Let's imagine that you run across an article in the newspaper that deals with some of the problems one of your clients is frustrated with right now. All you got to do is tear that article out of the newspaper or the magazine or wherever you saw it, or go make a copy of it if you want to keep it, and send it with just a little note, a little Post-it note on there that says, Charlie, saw this article. It has to do with what we talked about the other day. Thought you'd enjoy it. Put your name underneath that. Okay? That's over-delivering. Charlie gets that, reads through it. Boy, is he grateful for the support that you're giving him. So look for opportunities to provide extraordinary service like that, and that's over-delivery. Okay? So under-promise, over-deliver. That will make the difference between a regular practice and wealth. Okay? Because the happier Charlie is, one, the more stable he's going to be as a client. But the other thing is, the more broadly he is sharing your name with others. Okay? Delight your clients. Send them cards. Find out what their birthday is. Find out what their wedding anniversary is. Send them a little card. If you see that they're down, get a little card to pick them up and just say, hey, just thought you'd know that we're thinking about you. Okay? They have a loss in the family, something happens, send them a little card. Delight them. Let them know that you really care about them as a person, as an individual. You're not just a client, you are a friend to them. So that's delighting your client. Number 6, be on time all the time. Be on time every time you tell them you're going to be there. In fact, be a couple minutes early. Okay? Just make that a goal. Now, some of you have already built that into your life. Some of you might not be as good at that as others. I don't know which one you are, but I just want you to know that that's important to clients. If you're on time, they recognize that. Sometimes it's unconscious that they recognize it, but they realize that you're a professional when you're there on time. So be on time. Show them that you appreciate them enough to be there a couple minutes early. Check back with them periodically. Check back with your clients. Ask them how you're doing. Simply say, hey, listen, I always want to make sure that I am providing the right level of service for you. Am I doing okay? Am I accomplishing what you want me to do? Are there other things that I could do to make you even more satisfied with my service? Do you think anyone's going to be offended by you asking that? They're going to appreciate the opportunity to share with you. Now, most often, hopefully, you've been delighting them, okay? Hopefully, you've been over-delivering, and the result is going to be, no, you've done more than I could have ever expected you to do. And that's what you'd like to hear, wouldn't it be? But maybe there might be some other services that you hadn't even discussed. They might say, hey, well, I have one problem that I've been meaning to ask you about. And they talk to you about it, and you find out, hey, that's a whole other project I could work on. Maybe they need a loan, okay? They might be looking for financing, and they're wondering if you could help them pull together the paperwork to develop that loan application that they need. Most of it's just accounting information, looking at creating forms and so forth, and those types of things. You might not have even known they were coming up unless you'd sat down with them asking how you're doing and are there any other services. Provide an engagement letter. We just talked about that. That just documents your agreement. That makes a lot of sense. Discuss the payment terms. Make sure that they understand that you're going to collect the money when you deliver the financial statements. If you find that they have adequate income and they've got adequate cash and they're paying all their vendors on time, then you might consider 30-day terms. But you know more about their financial position oftentimes than they do. So you'll be able to identify, is this a person I need to collect the money for the moment I prepare the financial statements, or is it a person that will pay me in 30 days? Okay, so you're in a very good position, better than any other vendor, to make that determination of whether credit terms are good or not. And finally, number 10 is get a business checking account. We talked about that. So critical to have, to your own personal gratification, to see that account grow and get larger and larger, knowing that that's a little nest egg that will provide for your needs, and it will help you to be even more able to pay for your costs of living later on. Okay?
Now let's review Session 6. In this session, you learn 10 techniques that will bring you greater success in your accounting service. These tips included: work on your business every week, build the business, cultivate professional relationships, under-promise and over-deliver, delight your clients, be on time all the time, check back with your clients periodically, provide an engagement letter, discuss the payment terms, and get a checking account for your business. This concludes Session 6, 10 Tips to Success.
Congratulations! You've completed the Universal Accounting Module for Building a Successful Accounting Service. If you're like the thousands that have taken this course before, you recognize that each tape contained ideas and direction that made each session worth the entire investment of this course. Let's briefly review what you learned in each module. In Accounting Made Easy, you learned the fundamental processes of accounting for small businesses. You became familiar with the books of accounting and experienced the chart of accounts. You learned the types of legal structures available to a business and understood the advantages and disadvantages of each. You learned of different methods used in marking down assets, including depreciation methods and bad debt methods. You were even trained in how to assist a small business owner to maximize collections of accounts receivable. Now that's powerful. Finally, you mastered debits and credits, preparing you for application in real companies. Module 2, Small Business Applications, gave you the experience of actually doing the books for 4 different companies. Each company provided opportunity to work within more than one industry and increased your confidence. The third learning module, Advancing Your Accountability, exposed you to a number of issues you must know when managing the books for a small business owner. You learned how to audit your books to ensure their accuracy, and at the same time, how to identify financial improvements that you can advise the business owner on. You learned how to set up the books from scratch for even the most disorganized business and how to close their books at the end of the year. You experienced a system of conversion between cash and accrual accounting that will enable you to shortcut the monthly bookkeeping process and still deliver the accuracy that management wants. And finally, you experienced the books for more sophisticated types of businesses, including a construction company, nonprofit organization, and inventory finance type business. You also learned how to make the necessary adjusting entries for a manufacturing business. Oh, by the way, if you haven't taken the other courses and feel your confidence is wavering, there may be a good reason for it. I encourage you to take a look at the information in the earlier courses to see if they'll make the difference. Now, good luck to you in all your endeavors. Remember that if you want something you haven't had before, you need to be willing to do things you haven't done before. Follow the directions given to you in this course, and the success will be yours to enjoy. Thank you.